everyone, it's Pam from Glam Junk Journals, and today we are going to be making a tag using vintage magazine images. And I'm all about vintage and I'm all about thrifting, so this is right up my alley. Let me show you a couple that I've made as an example. Here they are. I just love how they turned out. And I've seen this particular video done by other YouTubers, and specifically Tina over at Shabby Dabby Doodah. This is going to be my take on it, and what I'm going to be doing today is adding a little pop of color to the black and white images. And the reason for that, and don't get me wrong, I love black and white images in junk journals. It's just sometimes I think they need a little bit of extra oomph. And as you can see on this one, the pinks just kind of brings the image to life. And like on this one here, I just love the additional bit of color. Although it is subtle and you can tell it's still a black and white image, they just, to me, look more alive and just a little more, I don't know what the word is, but we're going to do one of these today. And so let me show you what I've pulled out here. Look at this magazine. This cracks me up. This is a catalog where you can order patterns for making these things, whether it's knitting or crocheting, I'm not sure. But I just love this. Wouldn't these be pretty on a tag? And look at these cute little guys. And this one cracks me up right here. Yikes, that looks like something from a scary movie, right? So that would be awesome to use. And then this ballerina, isn't she gorgeous? So any black and white photograph or image from a magazine will work. And these are really cute too. These are famous actors and actresses when they were babies. And so I thought that would be cute. I don't know. So I think, let me show you where I am going to pull my image from. I recently got this and I am absolutely in love with this. Look at this magazine. Oh, I think it's either a magazine or a catalog. I'm not sure. But look at the images in this catalog. Are they beautiful or what? I mean, I could sit here and look at this catalog or magazine all day. Isn't this fabulous? So what I've done is I have cut out a couple images from this catalog. And just a little side note, this cracks me up. The Art of Sweeping and Dusting. It is such a simple matter to sweep a room properly that it is difficult to understand why it is so seldom done. I hear you, right? So just goes to show, back in the day, sweeping and dusting was not a favorite of chores, and I certainly agree with that. So what I've pulled out is an image from that particular magazine, and look at these cute little girls. Are they adorable or what? So what we're going to do today is we're going to color. Don't you guys love to color? I've always loved to color. As a little girl, one of my favorite things to do was buy new coloring books, and I would just sit and color for hours. So what I've got is a bunch of colored pencils, and we're going to add some subtle color to these cute little girls, these little beauties here. And what I think I'm going to do is I am going to pick out some colors here, and then I am going to start filling in the picture. And what I like to do is I like to go along the seams, you know, of the dress and follow the lines and then just keep adding a little bit at a time. So that's what we're going to do here today. So I think for this, I'm going to use some oranges like that. That would be really pretty, and maybe a couple different yellows. I'm not sure on that. So we'll just pull those out here. And I haven't tried this with gel pens. It might work with gel pens, although I think gel pens may be a little too bright for this application, but if that's the look you're going for, go for it, right? So I am going to start coloring, and I'll show you a little bit here of how I do this. Just going to be going along the line of this cute little girl's dress right along the outside. And one of the things that I like about this is you don't have to be perfect. And that's what I love about this, is you don't have to be perfect at all. So I'm just going to follow the lines a little bit and then fill in, you know, around the borders and just follow the lines of her dress. And I'm going to continue along those lines, and maybe her shoes look black. We're going to keep those black. Maybe a little bit along the flowers in her hair, putting a little orange there, just something like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit different on this girl here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue coloring, and I'm going to stop talking and speed up the video a little bit so that you're not just sitting here watching me color all day. So I'm going to just get going, and then I'll be back. So here we go. Okay, here is the subtly filled in color of my cute little girls. And I noticed that she has on those, you know, those little boots that button up the side, those shoes that button up there. So that was really cute. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight those little buttons, you know, on the side of her shoes real quick. Just wanted to call your attention to that. And then on this little girl, she's got two little buttons on her shoes. So it just kind of gives a little bit more dimension to the picture, which I think is just fabulous. And I mean, you can just continue on and do as much or as little as you like on this. I just love the way this looks. So what I'm going to do from here is I am going to grab my Distress ink in Vintage Photo and just go around the edges just to kind of vintage it up a little bit more. And I just think these are just so fun to do. Coloring for me has always been very, very relaxing. And this would be a fun project, like when you're watching TV, like my husband and I trade off whose night it is to watch movies. And he'll usually pick like a, you know, a war movie or some, you know, action movie that I'm not really interested in. And I could sit here and color during the movie, which is so, works out so well. Okay, so there's that. Now from here, we're going to continue on making our tag here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put it on a piece of, this is a file folder, although you don't need to use a file folder. You can use any sort of just more sturdy cardstock, something along those lines. So I am going to do that, and I'm also going to get a little bit of a background here. So hold on one second. I got to grab some papers. I didn't have those out. Let's see what we got that goes with our our adorable little girls. That one doesn't go. That one's okay. That one, yeah, I don't like that one. I kind of like this one just because of the orange and yellows that we have going in this. Or let's see, what about that one? I don't know. I think that one looks pretty cool because it really makes the image pop. All right, so let's see. It's between these two guys. I'm liking this one, so we're just going to use this one. So to attach, this is just a piece of scrapbook paper. To attach that to your file folder or whatever you decide to use for your backing, I like to use art glitter glue. And despite the name glitter, it doesn't have glitter on it. It's just a white glue with the precision fine tip. And to me, this is pretty consistent on, come on, if it goes here, on not getting the buckles in your paper when you lay it on the top, you know, with the glue. So what I do is just go around the edges here, and then we're going to get just a little bit, oops, a little bit throughout the whole thing here, and then kind of smush it around with your finger just to get a real light coating of glue. And then we're going to stick this right on the back. Don't have to be exact. No problem there. And then I take my wallpaper spreader. You could use a bone folder or a credit card or a ruler, something to really get it smushed down here and get all the bubbles out just so that it's flat. And then from there, I am going to fold this over and just figure out where the line is. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is sometimes just how I get a straight line on there. And then we're just going to cut. Get my scissors out here. It also helps me with the folds to cut a straight line because I am challenged on cutting straight lines. That's for dang sure. All right. And if it's not that even, no worries. You can always just cut that off. So there's that. And then there is our little girls. And I did want to add a little bit of something on the side here. So I'm going to grab a piece of vintage music. And just do the tear technique. I just need a skinny piece here. So we're going to do that. Kind of just add that underneath. Yeah, that looks really good. All right. And distress the edge of this. This is so gratifying. Just love it. And like I said, you can use any image you want. It doesn't have to be vintage, although that's what I gravitate towards, but it can be really anything depending on the theme of the journal you're working on. It can be absolutely anything. So let's glue this down. And trust me, these are addictive. They're so fun. So much fun. Make sure it's glued down there. And we're gonna put our cute little girlies on there. That looks really good. going to go around the edge again with the art glitter glue. And not to say that a glue stick does not work on this. It does. What I found with my glue stick, my Scotch Create glue stick, is you have to get a pretty even layer of the glue all over it. Otherwise, you're going to get those buckles. So you have to cover the whole surface is what I'm saying here. All right, well, that looks pretty good there. All the way around to the edges. Double-sided tape also works for this application. There's my cute little girlies. Smush those down. Make sure to get all the bubbles out. And it's lying flat. All right. From here, I'm going to cut that edge off here. And I got a little sticker upper there. Make sure that guy's down. All right, and I do like to round my corners here. Let me get my corner rounder. And then go ahead and distress around the edges of this just to get the white edge down a little bit. Yep, and see there on the edge right there, little sticker upper, didn't get the glue down there. And that's another thing I like about this is the precision point. Although with this, you gotta watch out because they give you a little pin to stick in the top. And this is just a note for me, is you have to keep that on there because it dries out really quick. And once it gets clogged, it's really hard to get unclogged. Okay, so from here, isn't that cute? Yay! Love it, love it, love it. Now from here, you can put a layer of Mod Podge over the top. And what I did on the other two ladies here, I don't know if you can see it real well, is I added some liquid pearls on that. So I don't know if I'm going to do that on these little girls. I don't think so, but what I am going to do is I'm going to add a layer of Mod Podge. So let me get my mat down for messy crafts. And you can use any Mod Podge you have on hand or any, medium here, water-based glue. This is Mod Podge Matte. I also have Mod Podge Antique Matte. Now this is really cool and I haven't found this. It's not at all the stores. I don't remember where I got this, but basically it's a tinted Mod Podge Matte. But we're just going to use the regular today. I'm going to add a light coating of this over the whole thing. And this really makes everything secure. So just a light coat of that. And all this Mod Podge dries really quick. I am going to speed up the process, although, hold on, let me do this. When you hold up your piece to the light, you can see the areas you didn't get your Mod Podge, and I can see right along the bottom. I didn't get any. So I am going to speed up the process of the drying with my blow dryer. So hold on a second and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and what I did do off camera is after the Mod Podge was dried, I sewed around the edges and just added a little bit of lace at the top and a couple little pearl bling embellishments on there. And look how cute this tag is. I just love how the coloring just added some dimension and just brought it to life. And so that is what really makes me just love these images so much. So let me recap here what we made this one today. And here are some of the others that I made previously. And one thing I did want to show you is just look at the difference between, this is the page that I got this image out of. Let's see, where are the little girlies here? They were right there. And if you can see just the difference in this image here, which is very cute, don't get me wrong here, adorable, but I just love the way this is just adds pop to it, pop to the image, and it just is fabulous. It's so much fun. So I encourage all you guys to go through your magazines and pick out some black and white images and add some subtle pops of color to them. They're so much fun. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this and it inspires you to, color some images here, just like when we were little girls. So I hope you have a good day and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.